should let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, 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 day.
Hello, we're here on a Tuesday, not on a Monday. Welcome to TMW Online. I'm Linda. That is Abby. If you see 3 people or 4 people across the screen trying something new today, landscape, and then whatever the other thing is called, because we're going to repurpose some of this. So don't let it confuse you. Happy... What is it? I thought it was, I really had, it's 11/11. I missed it. What is it? Today's 11/11.
You're not talking, are you talking about Veterans Day? No?
Yes, Veterans Day, 11/11.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But why did I think 7 was something that I thought I was doing?
Have you been singing 7-Eleven all day? Has it been on your mind?
Maybe, I don't know. But
smack it in the air. 7-Eleven.
I don't know what it was. That'd be really good in my head, and then I forgot. You guys, we remember those that served. Not Veterans Day in America, Remembrance Day in Canada, served their countries, and their lives are for our lives. So we just put that out there. I know, Abby, you come from a military family, so did you want to say a little something as well?
I mean, you covered it. I mean, the military for us was a pathway to get ahead. It does come with some major complications. I did go to Vietnam for the first time this year. And so being in a country that has been heavily impacted by US imperialism gives me a very different mindset about things like Veterans Day. So it's unfortunate the ways in which the world has operated and the ways in which people have been coerced into joining the military as a pathway out of poverty. And may we all have better pathways going forward.
Amen. That's it. That's all. So, Spencer, yo! You guys, as you know, some of us, there's a lot of new people. I love this. It's Emily.
Yes.
AJ. Hey, Emily.
Hi.
So you guys know I got my ear pierced, and I'm addicted to this piercing situation. I had to get it re-pierced today, you guys, and I was not ready for it because the piercing I got was too big. Long story short, it was not healing properly. So the guy was like, here's this, 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 and this. And I was telling Abby, you have to mentally prepare yourself for piercing. I thought he was going to change it out and make it a smaller one. He's like, yeah, no, we're going to make it taller or up higher, and we're gonna do this. I was like, oh Lord, you all already know needles. I was not ready. And when you get goosebumps all over your body, he noticed, which is something that I really appreciated about him. Atomic piercing in Hollywood. That's funny of me. Long story short, he just was very observant, and redid it and took his time, and it hurt, but it didn't hurt as much as the first time. So he knows what he's doing. But long story short, you guys, who knew? This is called something specifically up here, but when you get it pierced, it doesn't heal right away. It takes almost it can take up to a year.
So do you remember his name so you can tell people exactly who to go to if they go to Atomic Piercing Hollywood?
Osh is his name. Osh at Atomic Piercing in Hollywood, California.
Yes. So everybody can get their piercings done correctly the first time and start their healing process. But you still love it, right?
I love it. I'm going to get another one. But, I was already months into the original piercing healing process, so I'm a little but it doesn't hurt like the first one did. So I think the first one might not have been done correctly, and now that he's fixed it, it doesn't hurt as much, but we'll see.
Okay.
That being said, that's why my hair is like this, because he also told me that my hair is like getting entangled in the stud part, and I gotta stop doing that. So
Okay.
you might see this style for quite a bit.
Well, it looks good, so that's fine.
Thank you, Emily. We're so happy to have you here. Yay! All right, let's get into season 7, episode 7, 90 Day Fiance the Other Way, Deja Vu. You know, we're talking. Okay, overall thoughts.
Okay, this episode is cementing in my mind that Matthew is becoming a villain.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, who knew that was going I would have never guessed it from the intros and the first episodes, but yeah, he's on my shit list.
Hey, wait. Who's Matthew?
Greta and Matthew.
Did we
Wait,
have
am I saying his name wrong?
Did we have Greta and Matthew on this? Isn't that 90 Day Fiance?
No, this is the right one. They're the ones that she's the cat lover.
Oh, are they in episode 7? Because episode 7, I have Patia and Dylan, Madeline and Luke, Jenny and Nick, Manon and Anthony, and Chloe and Johnny for the Deja Vu episode.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I've gone too far. So hold that until next week. I will tell you guys why I do not like Matthew.
Emily, thank you for being a new sub. We appreciate you so much. Okay, so my overall thoughts were Patia, like what are you really doing? And Manon, I can't be mad at you. You have the hustle down pat and you're trying to provide for yourself and your family, and I'm here for it. That being said, Patia and Dylan. Now, if you guys watched our episode last week, I just feel problems are all around this. Like red flag, red flag, red flag. If I had one to flag and fly for you guys, I would. But she's leaving for Tasmania. Hasn't seen Dylan in 6 months, Abby. Okay. And one of the things I think is funny, because I know that you and I travel a lot. You travel more than me, but do you pack a snack bag when you travel? And to the live chat, if you're watching the replay, do you pack a snack bag before you travel? Because you know, snacks when you get to the airport are very, very expensive. So some people are like, you know, I've seen TikTok videos where people have like full on rotisserie chickens, they have full on pizza. Family, do you do all that stuff, or do you just succumb to the prices at the airport? What do you do, Abby?
I barely pack clothes. The running joke for my friends is that I'm never going to have enough clothes when I reach the destination, and I'm going to have to buy something when we get there. So if I'm like barely packing clothes, I'm definitely not planning out enough to pack snacks. I've just accepted that when I go to the airport, things are ridiculously priced, and it is a part of my travel budget. I know that's not the smartest way to live. And I was healthier when I did pack my snacks, like when I was on a strict, very, very strict caloric intake back in the day. But these days, I just let my body decide.
Okay, so I am an overpacker, and so there would never be a snack bag, because where would I put it? Because I'm already worried about being over in weight. And I also, like you, plan for, because part of my travel experience, Abby, is that I love being at the airport. I love being at the airport and like having my spots, and I go to Hudson News. If you guys know anything about Hudson News internationally, I get my books, I get whatever I need, I get my snacks there. Yeah, I pay too much, but it's part of my whole like routine being there.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because I come back and forth from Canada and the US a lot. The Canucks bar in Vancouver, which is no longer called the Canucks bar, FYI, anyone who hasn't traveled recently. The bartenders know me because I'm there like they're like, "Hey, Linda." I'm like, "Oh my God, what?" And they travel back and forth. It's like going from Bellingham to Vancouver. You just see the same people all the time. That being said, No snack bag for me. I do have snacks in my bag that I purchased at the airport, but um that's like an additional thing that they can't like say, oh, you're overweight for. So that's why I
Right.
did it. Patia's nervous about the move. You know, she's invested 12 years, you guys. And what of she says, heartbreak and breakups. And as you guys know, they lived together for 7 years. They've been together for 12 years. They lived together for like a bunch of years in Las Vegas. It didn't work out. They separated, went their they parted ways, and then they moved to the Philippines for a year. That didn't work out either. So I'm not sure why they think her moving to Tasmania is going to work out. Do you know what I mean, Abby?
Yeah, I don't understand either, but at least it's only going to affect her life. Like she's not dragging some children into it or anything like that. So that's the bright side. Do I think it's going to pan out? Probably not, but at least you're not hurting anybody else.
True, but at the same time, she's picking up and leaving her life and her stability. And
Hmm.
I think that that's like hard thing to watch, but we'll see. So she's also worried, and which is I think it's interesting because you know she's 56 years old, you guys, and she's worried about his mom. So Dylan, who's 20 years her junior, lives 5 minutes away from his mom and is a mama's boy, has been a mama's boy, and is doing all the things. And oh, real Matthews, I just want to let you know that you don't. I think you're new here. I'm not gonna like get wrapped up in your nonsense and the political craziness of it all. I'm from Canada, so I don't know what you're specifically talking about, but this is like a Canadian content. Abby is an attorney, so an immigration attorney. So you came to the wrong live with all of your nonsense. I'm not even going to say what you're saying, but what I'm going to say in the live chat is that you're in the wrong place, my friend. Wrong place. You might see our skin tone color and have a bunch of wrong assumptions and stereotypes, but I'll tell you this. I know that the two of us combined have more education than your nonsense right there. And that's all I'm going to say. You do you. You can continue. I'm not even going to ban you because your ignorance is showing and everyone can see it. But just know, real Matthews, Neville, Golding, that you're in the wrong spot. That being said, I feel bad for Patia because Patia is a grown-ass woman, and here she is having to live like 5 minutes away from Dylan's mom. And we learn in this episode that Dylan's mom is not a fan of hers. Like they've butted
Hmm.
heads. A lot of the reasons that her and Dylan have fought is because of his mom. And the fact that the mom thinks that she's too old for him, she wants grandbabies, all of that stuff. So, what are your overall thoughts about an older person with a younger person, and perhaps the younger person doesn't want to have children but hasn't told their parents that? What are your thoughts on that?
I would want them, after all these years they've been together, I would have to, this is a time for an ultimatum. Either you talk to your mother and let her know this is the decision that you've made so that we can move on and have a happy relationship, or we are just not going to have that relationship because I'm not going to spend my time fighting with someone who you're still maintaining a relationship with. At this age, I'm not interested in having in-laws that I'm fighting with. I just want as much peace as possible. So that's not something that I would agree to be involved with. I've only been married once, and I've only had one big fight with that ex-in-law, and then that was it. Like, and that was it. We were straight after that. I would not stay in a relationship where I was constantly bickering with somebody's family. And it was because that person hadn't stood up and said, I don't actually want kids. So stop. arguing with her about this.
Facts. What up? So let's share
Hi, Ty's Way.
to Emily and Ty's Way. Emily, thank you. I've been working on my heart and it looks much better now. But that being said, Patia goes from Dallas to LA till Melbourne. And she's hoping to start a new life with Dylan. That is going to be something that they haven't had in the 12 years and 20 breakups that they've already had.
Mm-hmm.
Days,
I have a question for you. Would you expect, if you had a layover like that before coming to the island, would you want your partner to come and meet you there and have the overnight there together and then travel back with you?
You guys already know that I am high maintenance like that. 100% absolutely.
Me too. I was like, why is she spending the night by herself?
I mean, he did a lot of things that I was just like, oh, he's really not into this. Like, he's not making it convenient for her at all. He's making it convenient for himself. And I'm like, you guys have one whole full night that you could be together. You haven't seen each other in 6 months. Go ahead and like get there early. Yes, the flowers and the plushie and all this stuff. But yeah, I would have preferred him to come early and have booked the hotel and been like, hey, I'm here already. I'll see you here. And
absolutely.
so, 2 days, 2 flights. She crashes at a hotel for one night as she's en route to Tasmania. And she finally gets there and she's like, this is it. Meanwhile, Dylan says he wants to make everything perfect, right? It's been 5 years since they lived together in Vegas, and that was terrible. They also were in the Philippines for a year together, and that was terrible. So he really wants to make sure that this is perfect. And he says that Patia likes fancy things, and she likes, great cars, good lifestyle, all of that in Vegas. And he hints that she got into serious debt while she was in Vegas because she was trying to live like the Joneses. And he
Keeping up with the Joneses.
whatever. You all knew. You guys knew what I was talking about. You guys know. I saw Abby's face. She's like, yeah, okay, that's close. It's not it. You guys know how I am with sayings. If you've been here for days, you've been here for years, you all know the intention is there. So yeah, keeping up with the Joneses. What did I say?
Buying the Joneses?
No.
What did you say?
I don't know, but same thing. Keeping up with the Joneses. And he wants to show her that life can be more simple. It can be more down to earth. You don't need all the materialistic stuff. You can just live a simple life, which again, you guys, are you not communicating with your significant other before you guys make drastic moves for your relationship? Like if you're a city girl, you want that city lifestyle. You've always been a city girl, which to me, it seems like Patia has been, right? Then why all of a sudden is she going to be like, yeah, I don't want all of those things. I just want to like peace out, live in the countryside, drink coffee, tend to my animals and be cool. Like she's never said that that's who she is. And you can change your mind and you can be like, hey, this is the direction I want to go to. But you have to have a conversation with your significant other, don't you think, Abby?
Yeah, because she said she doesn't know how she's going to spend her days. Have you done any research on like what kind of hobbies people have in Tasmania?
Yeah.
Where you'd be able to meet friends, anywhere you'd be able to join different clubs or organizations? Like, I don't think you should just move somewhere and not know how you might spend your daytime because you would be having too much pressure on your partner to be your only source of entertainment, and that's just not going to be healthy for the relationship either.
100%. So that being said, he shows up to the airport after she's already spent one full night at a hotel. She gets fancied up and he shows up in a cowboy hat. He has flowers he has a plush kangaroo, and he's thinking he's doing the most. He thinks he's showing up and showing out. And I was like,
I mean, I thought he looked nice.
did you?
I did. I thought he looked very much like the stereotype that I would have for Australia.
All right, so this is my plushie that I got at Universal Studios Horror Nights. His name is Lenny. Now, we love plushies, right? Like, look how cute he is, Abby. He's like, right? We love plushies, but that's not going to be enough to sustain a whole relationship.
No, it's not. But it's a nice gesture.
It's a nice gesture, and absolutely, he's a nice gesture, and he's so I love him. He's very cute, but that doesn't sustain a long-term relationship, especially when you're expecting to get married in these quote unquote 90 days. Yes, the cowboy hat was great. Yes, he looked great, but he's also an exotic dancer, so that's part of his lifestyle. The flowers, it was an orchid. Love orchids, but I'm like, okay. And then the plushie, okay. Where's the ring? Because that's what she's looking for.
That's what she wants.
Right. She gets there, and then they do this thing where she's the doggy kisses, she calls them, and she like licks all over his face. What were your thoughts on that, Abby?
I didn't care for that. I didn't care for that at all.
Yeah, me neither. Those aren't kisses. You're just licking my face. I'm not into that. Hey, Jocelyn. Hey, girl.
Hey, Jocelyn.
Yeah, I'm not into it at all. She asked for the ring. She's like, where's this ring?
Mm-hmm.
And he says it's coming. And here's where I was like, oh, here's another red flag, because he wants to see how things go first and wants to make sure that she's in it for the long haul. This woman has been with you for 12 years. You guys have broken up 20 times. She has packed up her whole entire lifestyle to move and be with you twice now. And you're wanting to make sure that she's in it for the long haul. Abby?
This is another thing that you would say, did you guys even talk about this? Like, did you come to some resolution? Why would you get playing Patia if you said, I want the ring, and he was saying, no, I'm going to wait? So why do you still, like, if you guys haven't resolved that, why are you still getting on the plane? And then my question, like, I ask this question all the time, but I have to just say it again here. How is somebody arriving with so many bags and immigration's not asking any questions? You cannot arrive to the United States with that many bags and they be like, oh, this makes sense for a 6-month stay. No, there are going to be a lot more questions. You have to arrive with the intent of being a visitor unless you have some other kind of visa. And I just, so these people who are arriving with the intent to stay, like I'm living my life here, how does that fly with immigration?
Especially in today's climate, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Do you want to say anything else about them before we move on to Madeline and Luke? Okay, Madeline.
Let's go ahead.
Overall thoughts. Go.
I don't want them to get married. However, I understand from Madeline's perspective what is going on.
I don't understand what's going on here. Again, last week I told you guys how I felt, and I feel the same way. Like, I just feel like she's blowing things out of proportion, and unless I'm missing something, because I didn't see their first season, so unless I'm missing something, I just think she's being outrageous, and I don't understand it. Is Luke like a great guy and you know the one? I'm not saying that at all, but I do think that she has some culpability in this. So Madeline's crying, she's mad, she's packed Luke's bag and the flowers, the red roses that he gave her, and thrown them out of her house. She's packed it up, put it on her front porch. She takes the flowers that are, in flower form and picks off the petals so the petals are everywhere. It's very dramatic. And I am still trying to figure out what exactly she's mad about, but here we are. She tells him that the marriage is off. She's crying. And meanwhile, we see Luke in like a ride share and talking about like how he's hearing from her that the marriage is off and he has cake still all over him. He wished it was one of the cakes that we talked about. So it wasn't the red velvet, it wasn't the vanilla, whatever, or the pistachio, whatever. This was a meringue cake that we had not talked about or seen. And so, meringue, it stuck to him. And he thought, which I agree with it, and I want to know what your opinion is, Abby, but he thought if he was going to be honest with her, that would count for something. And so telling her, hey, this is what happened because somewhere down the road, there are going to be pictures or videos that you're going to see. So let me get in front of this and tell you the truth. Should that have mattered, Abby?
I don't think it matters when you were in the situation that didn't have to happen in the first place. So he wants points for being honest after participating in something that he could have stopped and that she specifically asked him not to do. So why should you get points for honesty in that situation? So he arrives at this, she said, I don't want you to do the bachelor party with strippers. He arrives at the home of one of his friends. The friend says, and now we're going to have strippers. At that point, Luke could have said, peace, I'm out. I specifically said I don't want to have strippers. But instead, he stayed. And not only did he stay, but he allowed the stripper to dance up on him, as the young people, or the old people, I guess, say that now, and was fully into being a participant in this activity. So because you were honest with me to tell me that it happened, you want to get some kind of points for who cares about your honesty at that point? Like it to me, it's like, if you're going to keep doing the same thing over again, then what is the point in repenting?
Ty's Way agrees with you, and I'll pop it up there just so you guys can see it. I still don't understand. So Ty's Ways agree with you. You guys, I don't see what the big deal is. He didn't know, it was a surprise. So if I came out and my friends had a surprise birthday for me, and there was a clown there that I was like, I don't like clowns, and my significant other doesn't like clowns, so I don't want to ever be at a clown party. But then there's a clown there. Am I supposed to just turn around and walk away from all of my close friends who are celebrating me? That sounds ridiculous. You guys are sounding. It's ridiculous.
No, when you say clown, it is ridiculous. But to me, it's more like if I show up at a party and then somebody says, come in the bathroom and let's do some of this white girl. You know what I'm talking about?
You didn't do that, though, Abby. I know what you're talking about, but that's definitely not what happened.
Then I'm going to leave.
No, he was. If you guys rewatch what happened, he was going to leave because he was like, this is not what I was down for. His friends were like, hey, it's just a bachelor party. It's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. And even Madeline freaking out, the stripper was doing her thing. He was like this the whole time. So like, again, I'm going to say to you guys, if you don't trust your significant other to have a bachelorette or bachelor party, then y'all shouldn't be getting married. That is where I firmly stand, full stop. The guy was not touching her. She was doing her job as a stripper, as a dancer, as an exotic dancer, at a bachelorette party. She did what she was supposed to do so that she can get paid, which is what she did. He was like, hands off, I'm not doing anything, which is what he had to do, considering it was a surprise to him. If you can't trust your significant other, you think something else is going on, that he's groping this girl, he's going to the back room with her. If you think that, you shouldn't get married. That's where I stand. And that's where I stand with this. That's why I think this whole situation with Madeline, I just can't wrap my mind around, because...
Well, I don't even think it's that she thought he did something else with the stripper. I think the dance was enough. I don't think she's thinking, oh, he went and did something private with her later on. I think it was just the dance.
Okay, well, don't get married because that's not it.
Yeah. I also don't think that they should get married, but I also don't think that it's okay that you are honest to your partner and expect some kind of points for honesty if you specifically did something your partner asked you not to do. If you didn't like the rule or the ask that your partner made, then you can say up front, that doesn't work for me. I am going to have a bachelor party and there will be strippers there. But if you say, okay, I agree to what you said, and then you go and do that thing, I don't care about your honesty at that point.
I'm gonna have to circle back because again, I don't see the big deal. I don't see the big deal unless there's some underlying thing that we have not discussed that is going on there. So he takes a taxi back to the house. He sees that there are flower petals all over. His stuff is outside. She's not letting him in, so he takes his rideshare back to a hotel. And one of the fun facts that I wanted to share with you guys to lighten the mood a little bit is he is going to get her flowers the next day. He loves roses apparently, or she loves roses because it was first red roses and petals all over the place. Now he got her pink roses. But when they showed that scene, there were sunflowers, and sunflowers and tulips are my favorite flowers ever. What are your favorite flowers, Abby?
I like Gerber daisies, yellow Gerber daisies.
Okay. So we've got yellow Gerber daisies, tulips, sunflowers. Go ahead and write that down, you guys. He gets her flowers, and one of the things that I noted that I don't see a lot in the other way that I do appreciate about Luke, even though Luke is problematic in my mind, is I like that he is making an attempt to learn the language. I like that he engages the natives with their language, whether he gets it right or not, he attempts. And that, you guys, is the biggest thing. If you try and continue to try, you're going to grasp the language and the locals are going to appreciate it and they're going to help you through it. So I will give a shout out to Luke for that because I feel like he does that very well. And Madeline agrees to meet up with him. And he shows up at the house. He gives her these roses. She doesn't take them. And he's like, listen, what can I do to make this better? How can we work this out? She feels devastated, quote unquote, and wants an explanation of what happened without excuses. And again, we saw what happened. She didn't want him to have a bachelor party with strippers. He didn't know that there was going to be a stripper at his surprise bachelor party, and yet here we are. She doesn't care. She doesn't believe him. And she feels like when he drinks, he loses control of himself, which I feel like there's an underlying story that I don't know there, that she must have seen something. There definitely has to be some infidelity. And I feel it might be on both parts because now you both don't trust each other. So she says she wants him to take responsibility for his actions. But like, what are his actions? He showed up. His friends held him a surprise bachelor party. There was a stripper there, and now you're breaking off your wedding. I must be missing something because I don't get it. Hello? We're live, Abby. Hello, Abby? Hello?
Yeah, I so on the one hand, I don't want her to marry him anyway. So it's fine for me. Like I don't care the reason why the breakup happens, like why the marriage doesn't happen. Like I don't care the reason, whether it's rational or not. But on the other hand, I just no matter what the rule is that the couple sets up, I have a hard time with one party just deciding unilaterally to break the rule, no matter how silly it is. And that even goes for, think all the way back to, I think his name was like Adnan and Tiger Lily or whatever it was. You know, she agreed she's not going to shake any men's hands, right? To me, that's a ridiculous rule, but she agreed to it. So if she then comes back to the US and she's just shaking men's hands willy nilly, like you shouldn't have agreed to the ridiculous rule if you didn't want to follow it. So is it okay that she did it just because I think it's a ridiculous rule? No, that's what you agreed to. So then do you go back to your partner and say, oh, forgive me for all the hands I shook? And you're honestly supposed to count for something before he sees it on TV?
Okay, so
No.
let me ask you this, Abby, because I see you're going hard for Madeline. So my question to you is this: what is your stance on bachelor and bachelorette parties in general?
I don't actually care. I don't care. You can have a bachelor party, you can have strippers, you can do whatever you want because if I'm going to marry you, then I'm going to trust your behavior in that way. But let's say I say to you, oh, here's a real thing that happened, okay? Let's say that I tell you I do not ever want to be proposed to on a holiday or my birthday. Okay. I never want to be proposed to on any, like pick any other day in the year, right? And then you choose to ignore you say, okay, you agree to it. And then you choose to ignore that and try to use my graduation as a time that you want to propose when I have specifically said, no holidays, not my birthday, nothing that's a celebration for me. You pick something totally separate, right? And then you want to use my graduation as a time that you want to propose, I'm going to say no because you knew what I asked you for.
Madeline says it's been 2 years and she doesn't feel at peace and that he's lost her and that this relationship, this engagement is over and she wants him to leave. And I hear everything that you're saying, Abby. I just don't buy it. I get oh, don't propose to me on this date, this day, but about you're ending your engagement over a bachelor party.
Well, what if you characterize it like this? It's not necessarily about a bachelor party. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it is, but let's just like think about it differently. What if it's not about a bachelor party, but about a disregard for an agreement that we had?
I think they've had plenty of agreements and she's changed her mind just as many times that he's changed her mind. He's changed his mind. So they're on equal ground. So that logic doesn't sit with me because we've seen them change their minds in the moment. She's been mad at him. She's not mad at him. She wants him to come. He doesn't want to come. He's supposed to come in a year. He doesn't come for 2 or 3 or whatever years it was. She's okay with it. She needs X amount of dollars for this shop and he gives it to her, but he doesn't really have it. Like there's a lot of stuff where they've gone back and forth where they've said this is what they want and it's not necessarily what they actually happens or what transpires. So for a bachelor party to be the breaking point where she's like, hey, I'm not, where it's over, and freaks out. And lest we forget on 11/11 that she put hands on him and pushed him and put cake all over him and all that stuff, which again, you should never put hands on anyone, however mad you are. She's not infallible. She's not blameless. She has a role in this toxic situation as far as I'm concerned. And I just don't Luke is not a prize and Luke is problematic, but Madeline in these scenes in the last few weeks to me is problematic just as much. And I can't give her a pass. I can't give her a pass as a woman because I practice what I preach. And what I preach is you don't put your hands on anyone. DV is not okay. You if you sign up for a specific situation, that's the situation you're in. If you're a sugar daddy and highfalutin type of person, and that's what you signed up for, then that's what you signed up for. If you're marrying someone that's not exactly who you thought that they were going to be, you signed up for it, and you can always walk away, but you're not walking away because that person provided financial stability and all the other things that you were lacking or looking for in your life. So what I'm not about to do is say, Luke is terrible, period. Okay, you guys, like, he is not the most honest person. He makes some questionable choices. He's not the best business person, but he's presenting who he's always presented to be. And when you decided that this is who you wanted to be, and you knew exactly who you were getting, because people who are together for any extended time, you know who you're with, you know who you're marrying. So don't then turn around and say, oh my God, I can't believe that he had a bachelor party and now he's this terrible person, and now you can't trust him, and now you don't want any excuses or explanations. You knew exactly who he was when he showed up on the app that you guys met on. So stop making it like, oh, he's the terrible person. You need to take responsibility, just like how you're saying he doesn't take responsibility. You need to take responsibility for your part. And if this is me seeing you take responsibility, saying you're done, fine, you're done. But Madeline, then be done. And the money part that you love so much about him, the Western American part that you love so much about him, the potential for him to, and I'm going to throw this out there, this potential for him to give you a lifestyle in America that you probably have dreamed about is there. So don't act like he's the villain here. Both of you are culpable, and both of you knew what you were getting into while you were getting into it. That's it. That's all I have to say. That being said, she's like, I've been in this relationship for 2 years. She doesn't feel peace. Well, why was it 2 years? Why? If you didn't feel peace in the first year, why didn't you get out? Oh, was it because he financed the business that now you run that is thriving? I don't know. But it's been 2 years. If I didn't feel peace for 2 years, I would still not be in something. That just wouldn't be me. So she says to him, you lost me. This is over. He doesn't leave, which I thought was a cringe moment on Luke's part, because if a woman asks you to leave her place, just leave her place. All the she's in the bed, now you're trying to climb in the bed with her, is giving like predator vibes to me. She tells him to leave, take your flowers with you. And she just tells him to get out. That's it.
I'm surprised you didn't talk about outside clothes in the bed.
I mean, I would have, but because everything else I said was so heavy, it felt like trivial. You guys are the guy, him and her in the bed on the sheets with the outside clothes, him with the shoes, all the things. It would never happen in this Ponderosa. And I don't know what you all do, but I have outside clothes and inside clothes, and that's how it should be.
Yeah. I want to say something about the 2 years. I think that people sometimes get in their head that because you've been with someone for some length of time, that you're losing if you end the relationship. And there's a word for it that I can't think of right now. And so people will like stretch out a relationship just because, oh, I've been together for 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. But it's okay to walk away, especially if you can say it's been 2 years and more of it's been bad than good. Like, it's okay to just cut it off at that point. You're not losing anything. You didn't fail anything. Just stop at that point and move on to something different.
Absolutely.
Sunk cost fallacy. That's what it's called. The sunken cost fallacy. So a lot of times that sunken cost fallacy will have women, and usually it's women, staying in relationships for way too long. So it's okay, guys, to cut your ties. No matter how much work that you feel you put into that relationship, it's okay to cut ties and move on.
100%. What up, Becca? Becca says, Linda laying down facts as usual.
Hey, Becca Kitty Meow.
Heavy Bear. Oh, hey, we have a lot of new people. Some great,
Hey, Bear.
some racist, but we're living.
I know exactly where that person came from earlier
You
because
do?
I posted a video on my page and he left a really mean comment. I'm assuming it was a guy. So that's where they're coming from.
Oh, so you're bringing the racist to my channel. Got it.
Well, it just so happens that because I do on you guys on my personal page, I do mix in talking about like immigration because I'm an immigration attorney and that is political a lot of times, talking about immigration. So I end up drawing out people who have really nasty opinions sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? I don't, but I do know I'm very aware of the world that we're living in right now. And I will say this, like just spread more love, you guys. Like I, I I don't know who has the time to like come you see something and then you have the time to like take another day to come and just spew hate. Like go and have a great Italian meal. Go have some Thai food. Go hang out with your children and your loved one and your mom, because life is short and precious. So like to come on some person's random YouTube channel who you don't know anything about and spew hate and like racist behavior. Normally, I would block them, but I feel like that gives them the satisfaction. I just ignore
Hmm.
it, and you can continue to talk to yourself and say all these crazy things, but just remember, like, I think what racists and hateful people don't realize is that the internet is forever. You never know who you're talking to. You never know who you're talking to. So you're going to burn that bridge. And then knowing that, for example, okay, I'm like, whatever, I'm just a regular girl. But tomorrow I could be a Hollywood starlet. And I could remember this dude that was talking crazy to a black girl on my YouTube channel when I was a nobody. And I'm going to pull it up and he could be some CEO at this point when this happens. And you know what? That's the end of your CEO career. So I just don't understand. Like, spread love. Why do you have
Yeah.
to spread hate? Because it just is too much energy and there's too much hate already in the world. I just don't understand it. Just do better and be
Yeah.
better. That being said, we're
So,
moving on to Jenny and Sumit,
yes.
67 and 36. And we can't forget about Sadhna because she just makes everything, in my opinion. She wants to do some yoga. She looks over at Jenny, Abby, and says, Jenny's put on weight. And
Well,
if
you know what was funny? He said Sadness said they both have put on weight, but then Submit just said you've put on weight.
well, the mom said that Jenny put on weight, but when he was translating it to Jenny, he said the mom said that we've both put on weight. But
Oh, that's okay. I read it wrong. Okay, so he did the right thing. He was like, it's both of us.
yeah, because he didn't want to get her mad and cause
Hmm.
strife in his household. So the mom says, if she does yoga, her body will get healthy. And again, my note says he translates it to Jenny that we are both gaining weight, but that is absolutely not what the mom said. The mom, Jenny's put on weight. Jenny doesn't appreciate any of it. She's like, listen, I'm not here for this. Yoga was never part of my life. And then they do the flashbacks, you guys. And when I say I died of laughter, I died of laughter. You guys remember the Kama Sutra yoga? And Jenny had no idea what she was doing. She's on submit and like, look. See how awkward that is? That's how awkward it was. And then the string yoga, where they're like the string, not appealing to me at all. Yeah, see, Abby, I know you're thrilled too. I was like, none of this is supporting me wanting to ever do yoga ever again.
Not that kind. Like I'll do the easy stuff. Like I love a good one of those slow classes where you hold each pose for like 3 minutes. I like a nice slow class like that.
I mean, I don't know. Listen, give me a Pilates class any day. These yoga classes, I need to know more string yoga versus Kama Sutra yoga. Like, tell me exactly what's going to happen so I know exactly what's going to happen. Hot yoga,
Right.
I've done hot yoga and that shit almost killed me, you guys. It was so hot. I was like, this cannot be.
I would love to try the laughing yoga.
And so that, yeah, I mean, laughing yoga. Let's try it right now. Okay,
Yes.
ready, everyone? Okay, so let's do. It's the peace pose, I think, like this. Okay, so peace pose, and then we'll breathe as we go out. We'll breathe out, and then we'll laugh in. Okay, ready?
Okay. Ready.
All right. And again. And one more time. Okay.
See, that made me feel better already. It works.
I will tell you that laughing, whether you mean it or not, it's pretty good. Because you end up with a smile on your face. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
They're not doing that. They're gonna do poop yoga because sadhana feels like all of Jenny's ailments will be healed, and it's water and salt, yoga, and poop. She says that Jenny's fats will reduce, and she is really concerned that Jenny's put on, quote, so much weight. And Jenny looks over at her and says, Jenny, for the number of years you've been there, in my personal opinion, you should just know the language a little bit more because you're immersed in it. So I'm not sure what the disconnect is, and I would really love to understand that. But she does realize that Sadhana is calling her fat and says, stop calling me fat. But Sadhana's like concerned. She's like, Jenny's health is not too good. And in the moment, Abby was like, well, how does she know that? But then I went back to season 2 just to see what Jenny looked like. And you just Google it. And she had it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, she has no physical activity in her life.
no physical activity. We already know in the few episodes ago, she likes to just like sleep in. She's not working. Sumit was not working. So being stagnant for year after year after year, as you get older, it's just not a great thing, you guys. Like, you have to be active. That's why even people say, when someone retires, if they don't have a plan of activity, they die sooner because
Mm-hmm.
body's not used to all of a sudden being stagnant. So, like, go for walks, do Tai Chi, join a gym, join a chess club, but do something that gets you outside of your place and active. Because your body, and especially if you're a woman and post-menopausal, and you've got all of that extra weight that was not there before, and now you're being stagnant, it's just not healthy. And then you
Mm-hmm.
don't cook, and you don't cook healthy food, so you're eating whatever on the run. Think about all of that. Yeah, it could not be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm only 45 and I already feel my body starting to like collapse in. Like it's like gravity is harder for me now or something. So I have to do more work to maintain my posture where it used to be, really easy to keep my posture. And so now I'm like gravity's like I'm not as strong as I used to be and gravity's winning.
Becca says, put that small broom back in her hands and work it, Jenny. So hot water and salt, and you drink it, and it's supposed to cleanse you from the inside. And you guys, I don't remember. I think it must have been like 10 years ago. Do you remember when there was like the cayenne pepper diet? So it was like, I think it was, I
Was it
don't know.
lemon and water and cayenne pepper?
I think it was hot water and salt first, and then you drank that. And then it was cayenne pepper, lemon, and water that you drank. And like it was supposed to flush your system, and that shit just like, no pun intended, but it was outrageous. I know I tried it and I was like, am I not supposed to ever leave the house? Like, what is this? And you weren't supposed to eat on it either. You were just supposed to like drink that throughout the day. Like, how, what? Listen, you guys, we've gone through some things. We've gone through some things. Sumit makes a joke to Jenny after she drinks the hot water and salt and says that you might need a diaper. And I just didn't think that was very nice as the partner to be making fun of your spouse where you already know that she is lacking in some areas. But Jenny responds to that by saying she doesn't want to poop, which I thought was hilarious. Mom thinks that Sumit is fit, active, and fine, and Jenny is the problem because Jenny has back pain. Jenny, you only have back pain because you sit around all day and do nothing. Go for a walk. I promise you your back pains will go. So they first do the laughing yoga that we just tried. And it's about laughing freely. But Abby, she wasn't even embracing the laugh yoga. She was like, oh, what is this? This is stupid. I feel stupid. What were your thoughts?
I messed up the volume somehow.
So I was saying how Jenny wasn't even embracing the laugh yoga. She thought it was stupid and she felt like she didn't want to do it. And I was like, what are your thoughts on that?
And give it a whirl. There's nothing wrong with trying something new, Jenny. Like you can't be anti every single kind of activity. Just go in with a more positive attitude. Like I know that she's still kind of maybe upset about what happened when the family came to the house, but this is Sadhna choosing to spend some time with you. So just appreciate it.
100%. Anil shows up, which I think is interesting because Sadhna's husband, Sumit's dad, has kind of been MIA this season. He kind of like pops in and pops out, does his little thing, stirs a little controversy, and then bounces. And I was like, oh, what's this about? But he shows up to tell Jenny that she's not doing yoga right. And she is bending her elbows. She shouldn't be bending her elbows. He tries to straighten her up, and Jenny like falls flat on her face. She can't do it. And she's over it. She's like, I'm working with these people. I'm living with these people. Now we have to poop together. It's too much for me. And she's not wrong.
It is a lot to do everything together, but it is also true that Jenny needs to do some physical activity.
Agreed.
So that is what it is.
Agreed. We're moving on to Manon and Manon, I think I should say, and Anthony. Now,
yes.
One of the things that off the bat that was confusing to me, but I thought maybe it was lost in translation, was when they originally started their segment, they said that they were going to buy a car. Did you catch that?
Yeah, that's what they said.
They weren't buying a car. They were renting a car from a rental place, which is a completely different thing. Because I was like, so were they spending part of this 70,000 US or whatever to buy a car immediately? And like, did they shop around? What kind of car are they going to get? But then when I realized that they were just renting a car, that's a totally different thing. So like, why am I having to have this whole I mean, obviously I didn't have to have this conversation in my head, but I'm going by the words that you're putting out there. Buying renting a car completely different.
Yeah. They just I figured maybe she just used the wrong word. Because they definitely are not buying a car and they don't need to buy a car.
They don't. None of them are working. You ain't got a job to drive to, so y'all calm down. Anthony talks about how the first month they are using it to acclimate to being back in France. He wants to quote, okay, so this is the part that irritated me, you guys. And again, you guys know how I am, so I could be wrong. And feel free to tell me because you guys definitely do that. He wants to give himself a month to acclimate as well as learn the language. You all have been married for 3 years. You guys decided to move back to the south of France and you never made any type of attempt to learn the language. But now you think because you are in France that you are going to learn the language in 4 weeks. But I don't see language book. I don't see. I'm trying to think of what are any of those. Like, what is it?
Babbel, Duolingo.
Like, I don't see any of those apps on your phone. I don't see you practicing. I don't see it. But you're gonna learn the language and get a job in the month. And you're talking about your experience in security. I'm gonna need to know more. Are you a security guard? Are you a securities expert? Are you cybersecurity? I'm going to need to
Right.
know more to know where you're supposed to land.
And
Because
how are you going to get a job without a work permit? The fact that nobody has addressed this yet with regards to them is driving me crazy. Like, how did they move there with all of that stuff if he's just coming in on a visitor's visa? And if they haven't, then tell us.
go ahead and speak on it, immigration attorney. Speak on it.
And like, France is actually really strict with their employment rules. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I need someone to explain it to me. Yeah. What we find out while they're renting a car is that Manon and Benjamin, their son, have been bonding a lot more because she's been spending more time with him, which just makes sense. But on the flip side, she has a business idea and she tells Anthony that she doesn't want to go back to her old ways, but working all the time, making work more of a priority than her family that she was doing in LA. But she does want to like think about making money and security and stability while they're in France. So she has a beauty brand idea, which is aromatherapy and fragrances, natural ingredients that you can only source from the south of France. And Anthony's worried about the time commitment and the money commitment. And she's like, no, I'm researching it. I'm doing the background because I really prefer to get investors to invest in it. And he's like, you know what? I'm still worried because all of this is against what we plan to do in France, which is to have the balance between work and family, for you to bond with your son, for you to not work as much, for you to be basically stay at home while I go to work. But I also think that she's realizing like he hasn't done any of the work to actually make that happen. He can't even speak the language. Stop it.
I also think that she's realizing that she derived a lot of her value in herself by being successful in working, and that without it, she's unable to feel as happy and satisfied, even though she is growing that relationship with Benjamin. Also, this idea that they had to completely flip their lives, where he would stay at home, now she'll be at home in order for to have balance.
Yeah.
I've never that idea has never been square because that means somebody is always going to be out of whack if you just do a complete flip of your roles. It should be more like coming to an equal point.
Agreed.
If that's what you both want. I mean, some people simply do not derive value from working outside the home. And so if that's where he's happy, great. Maybe Manon does not value motherhood and she values more work outside the home. And that's fine. Like, just don't lie to yourself about where you derive that value from. And so you can agree with your partner on what you want to do.
And have the conversations, you guys, and be honest because that's your life partner. Your actions and words have to equate. They have to equal so that you guys know that you're moving in the right direction. Last and certainly not least, because they were the most entertaining to me in this episode. Chloe, 23, and Johnny, 32. He's off to go to work. She tells him to behave because, they have trust issues and she has jealousy issues. He's asked her to stop sharing location on their phone because he wants her to trust him. Okay, so my question of the day, you guys, because, we always have to have a question of the day. Would you and do you and should you, should, and do you share your location with your significant other? Abby?
I don't, but I would. And you shouldn't have to.
I don't. I shouldn't have to. And what scenario would I have to do that? I would only do it if it was like an emergency situation, like my car broke down, or as you guys know, back in 2020, I laugh now, but it's really not funny, that someone tried to abduct me. Sharing location was integral in my safety. But for the day to day, what?
Yeah. Well, here's my question. How many people do you share your location with, like right now? Is there anyone who actually has your location 24/7?
No.
Okay. So I am currently sharing my location with all of my sisters and my child. So like me sharing my location, probably not as big of a deal as it is for some people. And even though I share my location with all of them, they will still ask me where I am before they check it. They'll still like, oh, what are you doing? Instead of nobody calls me like, oh, I see that you're at the blah blah. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel intrusive, but I solo travel a lot. And then, Taylor and I were the only people who live together. And so it's just easier for me, safety wise, sometimes planning wise, if you just know where my location is. If I have plans with a friend on any given day, I will go ahead and share my location with them. So that way I don't have to wonder, how close are you to our meeting point? Or did you get home safely?
And so I'll say that. So if I'm doing something or I'm going somewhere, then I'm absolutely sharing my location with whomever I'm speaking to at the moment. And they know that. But like on a constant day-to-day basis, no. But if I'm leaving my house, someone knows where I am, period, full stop. And I think as women, that's something that you should think about. It's a safety thing, which is important. But just as a jealousy thing, I'm just really not for it. Because here's what happens. She stopped sharing location with him, but then her friend Cariana comes by, and it's her best friend that she met out here at some point when she was there visiting Johnny. And Cariana's boyfriend also works in tourism, so they have a lot in common. And instead of just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to trust you to go to your job and do your job. She decides that their day trip, your girl time, is going to be spent spying on your future fiance while he's at work to see what he's doing. And I'm like, that just completely crashes out the trust issue. You don't trust him. So because you're not electronically surveilling him, you're going to surveil him with your body. What?
Yeah. That was such a waste of time. She could have spent the day trying to figure out, how do I get set up to work? How do I get to and from the grocery store? Let me start making some connections that are going to be beneficial to our, future life. It was just, to me, it was such a waste of time. But I've said from the very beginning, this is not real for Chloe. This is just a little summer vacation.
100%, because you had a full-on local who made herself available to you, and this is how you're going to waste her time. Meanwhile, like Abby said, you could get the lay of the land. You could see where your grocery store. You could see like the bus routes, the transit routes. You could see who's hiring. You could learn language. There's so much you could have done, but this is what you decided to do.
Right.
Find out that this is not the first time that you've been spying on him. First time you started spying on him when some girl posted a video of her being on this boat cruise pirate ship thing, and he was talking to a group of girls, And in that group of girls, you didn't like the fact that he was talking to them and you saw it online. So then you decided that you were going to start spying on him in real life. Chloe, 23 years old, like, you got a lot of time ahead of you. You got your whole life ahead of you. You need to make better use of your time and your energy. And if someone is making you feel that insecure, then maybe you need to reevaluate your relationship. And
Absolutely.
perhaps go back home, work for your mama's company, get more life skills, do more traveling. Because I promise you that spending all that energy being jealous is just really not worth it.
Imagine having everything that you could possibly want for provided for you financially. And so you have an immense amount of free time to realize yourself as a human being, and you choose to use that time running behind a man.
Ridiculous. And the friend says the same thing. She's like, this doesn't sound healthy. What we're doing just doesn't sound healthy. And the friend thinks that Johnny doesn't respect Chloe. And I can see why. Because if you're acting like a child, you're gonna get child behavior and you're gonna get child responses. So respect is earned. You don't just give respect, it's earned. And if you're running amok like this, then I don't know what else to say to you. That's it. That's all. That's
That's
episode 7.
it.
You want to add something, Abby?
I'm excited for the next episode. You guys come back, talk to us live about the next episode because I have lots of things to say about Matthew.
Yay! Okay, you guys, we'll be back soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys spread more love. And if you're watching the replay and you're watching the replay live chat, just know that even when there are haters, you just gotta love on the haters. You gotta love on the racists. You gotta love on the people that are not loving on you, because it will all come back to you in some shape, way, or form. And I also really truly believe that people that spread hate, it's because they don't have enough love in their life. And so instead of responding with anger, I know it will take a lot, but respond in love or ignore it. And they're going to realize at some point in some way that it's not worth it. It's not worth spreading hate. So spread more love, you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.
And happy Veterans Day. If you have a veteran in your life, make sure to honor them today. And we'll see you guys very, very soon.